you put out the mugshot and you put out the name and you did the perp walk. What's the reaction to that been? Because he is 10 years old.
It's simple for me. I'm going to do it every single time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was bound to happen. As soon as I blew the lid off of the fact that I used to work in law enforcement, it was only a matter of time before one of my videos touched on one of my former employers. Very recently, Lee County Sheriff Carmine Marceno has been in the news, and not necessarily for great reasons. Now let me stop you there. This is not going to be a fuck Carmine Marceno video. This is not going to be a bash on the Lee County Sheriff's Office video, because first and foremost, pretty much everything that was done I agree with. So let's go through what happened. So there was an investigation recently where a 10-year-old child texted his friends, and it was a bunch of lengthy text and stuff. You're more than welcome to search the news articles, but long and short of it is this child sent text messages to a friend stating things along the lines of, oh, look, I scammed someone, and he sent photos of some firearms, alluding to the fact that he had obtained firearms, which obviously as 10 years old, that would be illegal. So he finished off the conversation by saying, I can't wait for water day. I'm not 100% that it was water day, but he used the name of whatever their outside summer activity day was, where they soaked themselves with water to deal with the torrential heat. So the father of one of the children that received this text message reported it to the Lee County Sheriff's Office, and of course they picked up the investigation. So going forward, they ended up arresting this child. And first and foremost, is that the correct move? There may be some naysayers that say, oh no, that's the wrong move. You shouldn't arrest a 10-year-old. What does he know? Listen, let me stop you there. I have an 11-year-old. I have a 9-year-old. And would it devastate me if they did something so stupid as to allude to the fact that there may be an issue that they were causing harm at a school potentially in the future? Yes, that would bother me, and that would upset me that they're being arrested. But it's the right call, flat out. You know, you if you go and you search up the news articles and you search up everything and you listen to these, like the sob story interview that they do with the family, and they parade one of the other children out in front of the camera and they go, oh, well, any person with a brain should be able to figure out. No. Every bit of those text messages alluded to the fact that there may be a shooting at a school, flat out. The kid knew what he was doing. Let's be honest. Did the kid plan on shooting at the school? Probably not. He was probably talking shit, trying to get a rise out of people, trying to be cute, trying to be funny or witty or whatever bullshit he was trying to pull. And it turned out poorly for him. But had we as a law enforcement community, I say we, I'm not in law enforcement anymore, had the law enforcement community not investigated this and arrested this child, and he did go commit this heinous act at the school, every one of you sons of bitches that is saying, oh, well, yeah, you shouldn't have arrested him, every one of you would have been, well, you had all the data, you had all the info in front of you, why didn't you go arrest the kid? Stop this heinous act before it happened. There's no pleasing some of you. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, and that is the downside of law enforcement. No arrest like this would have happened without the clearance of command staff. Because he's a child, they would have run it up the command chain. Even if it didn't get all the way to the sheriff, it would have gone to captains, lieutenants, and things like that. And it was the right call. So kudos to the deputies that took the initial report. Kudos to the detectives that investigated it, because this is a sensitive, touchy subject. Kudos to the great job that you guys did. Absolutely 100% think that you made the right decision in arresting them. And kudos to whatever command staff, including Carmine, if he was involved, giving the thumbs up for this arrest. It needed to be made. The problem that I have is they did what's called the perp walk, okay? And in law enforcement, when you have a big profile crime like this, and sometimes it's little things like shoplifting and stuff, but more often than not, it's a big, high-profile crime. They do what's called the perp walk, where they will put the person in handcuffs and they will walk them to the patrol cars that are transporting them to jail out the doors where they know the media is. It's kind of like the walk of shame after a one-night stand. It's to embarrass you and to bring public eye to the heinous thing that you did. And 9 times out of 10, maybe 99% of the time, the asshole that did it fucking deserved it. Having said that, this is a 10-year-old. This is a 10-year-old. And I don't subscribe to this shit about, oh, well, we need to make an example out of this guy. Nah, fuck that. They do this to cops. They do this to doctors. They do this to high-profile people. You punish this person as you would anybody else. Just like when I was a cop, I dished out any kind of reprimand or punishment or whatever equally. You don't go, oh, this person's a higher stature, or oh, this person's a scumbag, so we're gonna make an example out of him. You don't do that shit. This is a 10-year-old child, and this was nothing more. And again, so far I've given nothing but credit to the Lee County Sheriff's Office in Carmine. This is nothing more than a sheriff with little man syndrome beating his fucking chest, trying to show the community that he's no nonsense. That's all it is. That's all it is. You don't perp walk a 10-year-old. Flat out. And I've watched sheriff's offices and police departments break their legs and twist their necks and twist their backs beyond bendability to try and avoid releasing the names and photographs of children that get arrested. This shouldn't be like, we make an example out of him, we're dropping the hammer. Nah, fuck that. The kid made a mistake. He probably wasn't going to do it, but you don't know that. So you hand out the punishment as is necessary, as you would to anybody else. We don't make examples. We dish the punishment out as is expected or required given the particular circumstances. And the perp walk was a chicken shit move. Putting the kid's photograph in the news was a chicken shit move. It was nothing more than trying to stroke his own ego and look good for the cameras and look like a badass, and it blew up in his face because the media is going after the throat. It's that simple. So I agree with all the cop stuff you did, but the personal ego shit, that was bullshit. Shame on you. Carmine Marceno, I'm gonna need you to be better.